Hello everyone, my name is Kumar and welcome back to our channel KUMAR Programming. In our previous session, we have created our PostgreSQL database inside our Neon serverless platform as SUSE StoreDB, right? By using our Vercel. And if you want to see in Neon also, here you can see in Neon this our SUSE StoreDB. And after that, we have configured our Prisma. And if you see in our code, here we have configured our Prisma. We have created our client, and after that we have connected our database with the database URL from our .env config file. This URL that we got it from our Prisma configuration, right? Now in this session we are going to create our models inside our Prisma files, and then after that we will migrate those models to our database by using our Prisma migration, right? Once we will migrate our model to the database, after that we will seed our tables with our sample data which we have, right? And after that we will bind all our products with the database, right? So now let's start. First of all, let me show you that how the models look like. So here inside our prisma.io, if you see here, this inside our schema.prisma file, we have the collection of models, right? And these models are nothing, these all are the tables which are going to be migrated from model to table inside our database, right? So here we have our field name, and here we have field type, and after that we have annotation, right? So we are going to create a similar kind of model inside our schema file as well for the product. So let's do that inside our Visual Studio Code. So here basically we need to create a model for our sample data. So this is our sample data, right, for product. So we are going to create a model for this sample data inside our Prisma file. So here what I'll do, I'll just, since already I have created a model, so I'm just going to copy paste here. So this is our product model, and here I'm going to add two more fields for size and colors, right? So here I'll add size and colors. Size, which would be array of string, and we would be having another field here, colors array, right? Now let me quickly explain you. If you see inside our product model, we have to write model product, right? And after that we have to give our ID. So here we are having our ID for this model, and this ID is having a annotation @ID, and the default value would be db generated. We have a function here, generate random UUID, right? So it's going to create a UUID, unique identifier, right? And after that we are having a slug which would be unique, and we are creating an index, and we are mapping that index with this field, right, as a product slug IDX. And after that we have a field as a category type of string, image type of array, and we have brand name, right, as a string. And also we have a description for the product as a string, stock as an integer, price we have as a decimal, and we have a default value as 0 and decimal up to 2 places, right? And here also we have rating, and here we have number of review as an integer, and the default value we have 0. And here we have each featured, right? Each featured is something if that product is featured or not. If that product is featured, then we should be having a banner as well, that we want to show the banner for that particular product. So if by default we are having a value for each featured is false. And after that we have size, right? So size is a collection of string we have, and colors, that is also an array of strings. These two fields are missing in our production version which we have currently live, so I thought to add it in our this development, right? And after that, at the end of this model, we have created at as a date time and updated at as a date time, right? And default value we have current value for the created time and timestamp, right? So this is all we have our model, and now we are going to generate our Prisma client, right? So now let me open another terminal over here as a git bash. Let me make it a bit bigger, right? So we have a very basic command as a npx prisma generate. So npx prisma generate, right? And it's going to generate the client for our model. Okay, so once client will be generated, then after that we can write a functionality to save, load the data, save the data, delete the data, right? So let's do that npx prisma generate. So it's going to generate our client, right? So we got this Prisma schema loaded and generated Prisma client, right? You are able to see this message. So our Prisma got generated, and once our Prisma got generated, then after that we are going to migrate our model to the database. So once it will goes to the database, it's going to be converted into the table, right? So we have to migrate. So let's do the migration, and very simple command we have npx prisma migrate, npx migrate, and migrate we are going to migrate dev and I'll give the name as init, right? Because we are going to do it the initialization at very first time, right? So let's press enter. Now it's going to migrate our database. So if you see here, environment variable loaded from .env file, and after that Prisma schema loaded from schema.prisma file, and now it's trying to connect to the our database. Great. So now if you see here, our migration got successful. Your database is now synced with your schema. Whatever the model which we have mentioned over here, now it's synced with our database. And if you see here, our migration, there is a migration folder got created, right? And here we have created, see this init is created. And inside this init, we have migration.sql. And inside this migration.sql, if you see, we have our create table statement, right? So this all the things is going to be happen behind the scene once we are running all those commands. And if you want to see our database inside our Neon, so here we can go to our Neon console, and if we can just open this, and here we can come to the table, and now here you can see here we have our table, right? See, this is ID, name, slug, category, right? So we have migrated our model to our database. Now we need to seed our database, whatever the data which we have, right? If you remember that we have our data. So inside our sample data, see all these data we have, we are going to seed our data to our database, right? So let's create a seed file for that. So now what we are going to do, inside our DB folder, I'm going to create a seed file, seed.ts. Okay, and in this seed.ts file, I'm going to create a async function main, right? And in this async function, I'm going to instantiate our Prisma client, const Prisma new Prisma client, right? And let's import this Prisma client. We have created our Prisma client here, right? Inside our schema.prisma. See, this is our Prisma client. So we have to import this client inside our seed file. So what I'll do here I have to import Prisma client from, no, this is not the correct Prisma client import, right? So here I'll change it @Prisma client, this one, right? And once we have our Prisma client, then first of all we are going to perform delete operation from our table. So await Prisma dot product, right? Because we have already generated our Prisma client, right? So we should be seeing here our product, right? Prisma dot product dot delete many. So whatever the data we have currently, it's going to be deleted. As of now we don't have anything, but yes, in future once we are going to execute our script, whatever the data will be there inside our table, it's going to be deleted, right? Now we are going to create our data, right? So await Prisma dot product dot create many, right? So we are going to create multiple records from our sample data, right? So here we are going to pass data as sample data dot products, right? And we have imported our sample data from sample data, right? So this is our sample data, and this should be inside our curly bracket because we are passing as a object, right? Okay, great. And now we will, just to ensure that if our database seeded correctly or not, so here we will write console.log, and we will write a message over here, database seeded successfully, right? And after that we are going to execute this main function. Correct. And now what we are going to do, we will execute this our script, right? So let me execute it. Here inside we are going to execute npx, and we are going to use our TypeScript compiler tsx, right? And then we have .db/seed, right? This is our TypeScript file. So it's going to execute this script, right? So let's execute it, press enter. Now it's executing, and so it's giving me an error as imported this store module not found, db.seed module not found. I'm sorry, here we are having a npx slash, right, dot slash db/seed, right? Now we should be getting our seed TypeScript file. Great. Now if you see here, our database seeded successfully, and if we see our database now, just refresh this, and here we would be see our all the data, whatever that data we have in our sample data file. See, now our database product table is seeded with the data, whatever data we have. right? That's great. So far so good. And now we have created our model, we have migrated our model to the database, and after that we have seeded our database, right? Now one more thing that I would like to tell you here inside our, I'll run one more command over here. npx Prisma Studio, that is a great tool is given by Prisma. npx Prisma Studio, right? So through this tool, you can just see all your data. You can add, update, delete, whatever you want. You can do this, right? Even from your production data also, you can perform any action over here, right? So let me just open this. See here, this Prisma Studio. Now, if you see, as of now, we have product model, right? So see this product model. Whatever the model you will be having, all those models is going to be listed over here at the very left side. And now here you can see all your data from the product table. And if you want to add or delete anything, you can add it, or you can modify anything, you can modify it from here. So this is very great tool. I would suggest to use this tool while developing your application. So that's all for this session, and in the next session we are going to bind our these product from our database, right? And friends, if you found this tutorial helpful, do me a favor, like this video to support me and my channel, and subscribe my channel if you haven't already done for more amazing videos, and share this with your fellow developers who might find it useful. And if you really love my work, then consider buy me a coffee to support for more free tutorials, and link is given below in the description. All right, that's all for the day. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Till then, take care and keep learning.